is an independent body. In terms of the and I just the use, if you don't mind, the use of the word evidence in terms of the personal accounts. In terms of what just in my mind, I separate evidence in terms of the sworn testimony given before the Commission with the confidential accounts given before the confidential committee.
Report. The Commission state witnesses were asked for permission to record their evidence, and they went on to say, on the clear understanding that recordings would be used only as an aid memorial, but they did state evidence.
In terms of the my engagement with the Commission on this point, because I think that might be useful. When the Commission stated when the issue of the
sorry, I'm really concerned just with the time clock. I suppose my question is: do you believe that the Commission were within their legal remit to destroy that documentation or those testimonies?
In all their communications with me, the Commission have outlined what they believe their rights and responsibilities in the context of GDPR and the context of data protection are. They said they have acted in good faith in terms of what they did. I'm aware that there are survivors who have stated that there is an issue around whether they were asked in particular for consent.
I really don't want to, but what is your opinion? Do you believe they acted within the remit of the law when they destroyed those files?
Look, I think it's difficult, again, in the context of an independent commission, for me to create a judgment without having had the benefit of, I suppose, the sense of what the Commission did in each individual situation.
Have you sought legal advice as to whether they were correct or within their legal rights to destroy that data?
I've engaged with the Attorney General on the issues of of what the Commission did in terms of the tapes. Yes, we're still going back and forth on that particular issue, and we will continue to engage on that particular point.
So thank you for that, Minister. So there is still discussions happening, and there's still some investigations on your behalf, or someone is looking in and gathering information in regard to this. I think it is clear that this is a very time-limited and time-sensitive situation. The Commission is going to be dissolved in a couple of weeks' time. If you're still trying to establish the legality or not of that action, and I know the survivors have said that they didn't give consent, and many have gone to the guards and they've gone to the DPC about this, there is an obvious need to provide time to allow survivors to get answers to these questions and to allow for any examination or investigations to happen. And so I would ask, and I've asked this before of you, but I think things have moved quite quickly in this regard, but I would ask, will you please consider extending the term of the Commission? The Commission have sought previously to extend the time provided to them for the provision of their reports, and that was granted because the Commission sought it. The Government has extended the time frame that the Commission was operational for because the Commission and the Government wanted it. This time the survivors want more time. Will you please extend by 1 year the Commission remit to allow your questions, the Attorney General's questions, the DPC's questions, Gardaí questions and survivors' questions to be answered?
I think in considering that particular point, I and the Government need to take account of a range of factors that would result from any decision to extend. And I think the factor that has the biggest concern for me is the context of the transfer of the archive to my department. I've set out on a number of occasions how my department have undertaken a very significant amount of work to prepare for the transfer of the archive so we can properly address the subject access requests that we're going to get and provide what I will believe will be significant personal information to people who have personal information within the archive. And I think we all regard that as a positive step. If the Commission is extended, and this is again one of the considerations we have to look at, if the Commission's lifespan is extended for the purposes of an investigation by the DPC or by other bodies, in order to be able to answer that investigation, the Commission would have to have its archive. Because in terms of what the Commission, what the DPC, what other bodies would be looking at, the materials, that would be the material contained within the archive. So
It's just on that, Minister, but the material has been destroyed. So the DPC, no matter what they look into, they won't be able to find it unless it's on the database. It's, you know, on computer somewhere, and you've already sought to get that information. But I mean, this is the problem with this. I know you said earlier on in your statement that this does not represent a conclusion, but actually it will represent a conclusion, because once the Commission is dissolved, there will be no answers to people. It will just be swept under the carpet again, and we can't allow that to happen.
But again, in the context of an investigation that might take place, that investigation, and in order for the Commission to be able to respond to that investigation, they would need access to the entirety of their files to be able to provide the detailed sorts of responses that they need. And if that's the case, then they still have access to their files. We haven't provided the archive, and in that case, the Commission is still holding on to all the personal information. As we know, the Commission haven't undertaken SARS up to this particular point. And I believe if, first of all, we're looking to ensure survivors can get access to the personal information, which I'm committed to doing within the context of the information management unit set up by my own department. But secondly, in the context of where the audio material is destroyed, providing a right to rectification, which again my department has put some time into ascertaining how that could happen. Okay. I believe that we can get a better outcome for survivors in the context of access to information in a GDPR compliant way, and potential use of rectification, again, in the GDPR compliant way.
With that approach, there will be no accountability, Minister. There will be no accountability, and we have to move past the point where we allow things like this to happen with no accountability, and that is the problem. Survivors want justice, they want to be heard, and they need, and we all need to see accountability with this. The Commission has already duplicated those files. You're getting the duplicates of all the data. Let them do it again.
That's one part, just to be clear, Deputy, that's just one part of the archive.
And I hate to have to do it, but we've gone